This is Charleston's retirement coach, Brandon Bowen.
We have conversations every week about just time spent and how there never seems to be enough time spent or enough time to spend.
Yes.
And then isn't it a paradox because we want more time and then we finally get to the point where we're able to retire. And then people start to panic, Brandon. They're like, oh, I need to work more. We haven't saved enough. It's like you have finally gotten here, and now you are resisting the opportunity that is right in front of you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would say that boils down to uncertainty.
Yeah.
Right. Just, regret, things, second guessing. And people, they're always so, when they come in, they're like, okay, well, I've had some people go, I'm not competitive, but how does this stack up with everything else that you say? I'm like,
the guy that I just saw leaving your office, is this better than him?
Yes. I'm like, do not compare. Like, what are you going to do about it anyway?
Right.
You've done what you've done.
Yeah.
Like, and all that matters is you. So let's look at, what your income, your expenses, what do you want to do? What are your goals? And let's make your plan work for you guys,
Mm-hmm.
and then stop worrying about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're here. That's why you've hired me.
Right. That's what I'm here for. That's what the conversation's for.
Yes.
Goals. Let's all come together. Let's sit at the table. Let's get our worries out and then work to rid ourselves of those things for the years ahead.
I mean, a lot of times we do a lot of self-help, we try to do it ourselves. And arguably during your working years, yes, you can save by yourself, but gosh, that's when you get to retirement, I mean, asking, ChatGPT or some other Schwab say, okay, make income for me. Like, I guess, I don't know. How does it know everything?
Right.
I mean, does it see the full picture here?
I've seen some AI tools. I was asking ChatGPT or one of the AI platforms of my 401k options, which is best for me. And it was like, we can't give you this information. There was one of the platforms like, we won't give you that. They are, and listen, I get it because these people the lawsuits are coming, So it's like, all right, I get it. There's a boundary.
What do you mean I can't be all NVIDIA for retirement?
Right. Technology, though, it is something. Listen, it's 2025. Tech stocks have allowed a lot of people that are coming into the office, Brandon, to have the savings that they have thanks to tech sector and tech investments. Mm-hmm. Let's talk tech and the information that it's giving us and the validity of that information, because there was a writer at GoBankingRates.com, and this writer went and asked ChatGPT an interesting question. It said, if you make $60,000 a year today, how much are you going to need in 20 years for the same lifestyle? The response was, in 20 years, if you make $60,000 now, 20 years from now, you're going to need $108,000.
Ooh.
That's a big jump. However, with that math, with that math, everything's going to go up in 20 years by 80%. But if you reflect at the cost of butter, eggs, and what a Ford F-150 cost back in 2005, that 80% increase, Brandon, it tracks.
Wow.
So, Mr. Financial Advisor, Get out your pencils and paper, everybody. How do you build this kind of inflation, this math, into a plan? Where does the extra money come from?
So we do this with our customized retirement playbook. Okay. That is the quickest answer I've ever given on the show. But so what you were just setting up there, I want to just clarify for it, because I kind of had to stop for a second. We're talking about expenses. Mm-hmm. Okay. It was like, okay, if we make 60,000, let's just assume that's after taxes. Okay. Let's assume that we're netting 60K a year. That's 5,000 a month.
Okay.
So pause. Okay. You listening, driving around right now. So we're assuming that you can make it each month on $5,000. Okay.
Okay.
Or whatever your number is. That's after taxes, all expenses. We're not saving anything. We're just saying, okay, can we live on $5,000 a month? In 20 years from now, it's saying that, that 5, it's actually going to need to be 9 just to keep doing the same stuff that we're doing. Okay. We got a net 9,000 after taxes, all expenses. And that's because of inflation, cost of living going up. Things are costing more. Companies are passing it on to the consumer, so how do we plan for this for our clients? Well, this is what we do. This is over the 2-3 meeting appointment process that we do, is we are actually running these numbers. We're putting this together for you. And then when you come into the office And it's kind of the big reveal meeting where I'm saying, okay, buckle up. You see that? Put that seatbelt on, right? Right there. I'm going to show you, we're going to, depending on what your age is. See, this is where it's kind of a little different here on the show. Is you listening, you might be 45 like I am, or you might be 55 or 65 or 75. I mean, so we've got different time frames here that we're talking about that distant date of retirement. Maybe you're already in retirement. But let me first talk to those that have still a few years before they retire. Okay. So what we do with you guys is we first, start with a sober look at where you currently are. I'm talking about your income. How much do you make right now? Your expenses, your debt. Okay. How much are we saving for retirement? Right. We look at all of that stuff. I want you, we put it all in my calculator. Okay. This analyzer here. And so then once we've put all of that stuff in there, okay, how are we paying down debts? Savings. We'll do a pessimistic rate of return. Okay. A growth expectation here. We're going to be very low. All right. I want to under promise, but over deliver on that. Okay. Think about down the road when you're right about to retire or in retirement, you're not going to still take the same amount of risk you're taking now. Right. So your risk tolerance is going to go down. So again, that's why we've got to plan a little pessimistically here, on our rates of return. Yeah. Then once we get to retirement, now we've got to plan on longevity. We got to plan on another 25, maybe 30 years of life from age maybe 65 into our 90s because we might live that long. Right? Nobody wants to, have a party at work and celebrate retirement knowing you're going to run out of money in 10 years.
Right.
Right. We're like, okay, most everybody was like, hey, Brandon, I just want to live on the interest. I just want to live on the dividends. Can we just not draw down the portfolio and just live? And I'm like, sure, absolutely. I hope we've got that much money to do it. But then we've got to start deciding, okay, with what we've projected here, and let's just throw a round number. Let's say that once you get to retirement, let's just say you've got $1 million saved. Okay. And so then we start looking at the very first step here that we begin with is income. We start building that income. And I want to ask you, how much of this income here do you want to leave up to chance? Okay. How much do you want to have protected in there? And most people tell me, Brandon, we're talking, I want like at least 60, maybe 80% of this to be protected. Are you kidding? I want to be able to sleep 8 hours each night. I want to be able to travel with confidence and spend and do these things. So I want consistent, steady income. I want that boring, income in retirement where it just comes every month. Right. So we start there. Okay. And then, if you were to start trying to do this on your own, you start looking at a simple 4% withdrawal rate. The typical 4% that you hear, well, that would mean you would need over $2.5 million, okay, to get this same 108 back in your example there, Heather, right? If we need 108, well, you need 2.5 million if you're going to use that 4% rule. So good luck if you're making 60,000 now, right?
Okay.
So, if this is you and you know that you need this full workup, this full planning process, let me pause right now and give you my number. That number is 843-890-2400. 843-890-2400. If you've saved $500,000 or more and are age 55 or above, you deserve this customized retirement playbook. You can call or text that number. You can text the word playbook and we'll get started on your plan right now. 843-890-2400. But I do want to tell a story, a quick story of some clients that, gosh, it's great. So these husband and wife here, they're like my same age. They came in. And so I'm always excited when I have young couples in there because most of our clients are, 55 and above, right? They're right there on retirement's doorstep or in retirement. Maybe you retired and came down here. That's, who we work with most all the time. So when we have a younger couple come in, it's just a little bit different, right? Different conversation because they've got more time to try to build this thing. Well, what's great about them is they are killing it with great income. Together, they're bringing in about $500,000 a year.
Wow.
And I was sitting back. I was like, guys, let me first just come around here and, pat you on your back.
Yeah.
You guys are just killing it. This is kind of like some fun stuff we're about to do here. So, and they're very disciplined. With their savings, they're maxing out stuff, but they're very cognizant of future tax increases and tax problems that they're going to have. We can already see that, right? With all the savings. So we're putting really thoughtful investing strategies together for them, Roth IRAs, things, but they're also spending handsomely, right? So in retirement, yes, they're going to have a lot of money, but they're going to be used to a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right. That's how we all are.
Yep.
We kind of operate in the mode, if we've been used to something, nobody wants to take a big old pay cut in retirement. In fact, now every day is a Saturday and you want to spend more. Right. So, but with this planning process, we're factoring a low 6% rate of return on their portfolio, but we've got inflation, right? Our software says, okay, how much do you want to inflate these expenses? And so I set that thing at 3%. And so, Heather, you would not believe when they get to retirement, they're retiring, but this shows like a monthly expenses of like $35,000 a month.
Wow.
Okay. And I'm like, guys, can you even imagine spending 35 and then it went to 40 and then it was like 50,000 a month? And they were like, wait, a month?
This is what your projections showed that they would be getting an income or that they had their expenses would be.
That's what their expenses would be. So my software had to satisfy that kind of income.
Okay.
So I was like, guys, that I don't know. This seems a little crazy, but if we're only talking a 3% increase here.
Wow.
Okay. I told you they were spending a lot of money right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. If they're spending a lot now, then they're going to keep spending a lot later. They might be doing it all around the world. But this, and they were like, okay, that seems kind of crazy, but I can see how it got to there, how expensive. So just like what Chad was saying on this thing, how do we plan for expenses that are twice as high in retirement? And I'm saying my software will do that for us. Right. So we can look at those things. Maybe you're listening to the show and you're only 50. Or you're 55. Maybe we only have, like 15 or 10 years to plan for. Okay. So maybe the jump's not going to be double, but there is going to be some increases. And we've got to see, okay, how are we going to plan for this? Right. Because I don't see you cutting your subscriptions. I don't see you cutting the travel. These are the things you've been fantasizing for these days of retirement, right? When you're going to get in shape, when you're going to have time to do the things you want to do and play golf and boat and shop and, be with the family and watch the grandkids, all those things, right? And all of that costs money.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It all costs money. So we have got to plan on that right now. And that's what this customized retirement playbook does. It helps you look at the things and actually start asking the questions that you didn't know to ask. Okay. You were focused only on retirement, on trying to save as much money, but there's so many other things, debt reduction, so many other things that I can say, hey, pay that off right now. Hey, do this right here. Hey, stop putting in that IRA because we've got a tax bomb coming. Let's start throwing our efforts into this bucket of money because it's tax free. There's so many. So that's what my customized retirement playbook would do. And I want to offer that to you right now. So grab your phone. I know it's right beside you. And let me give you my number. That would be 843-890-2400. 843-890-2400. You can call or text the word playbook. And Tanya is standing by. She will text you right back. See if you want to have a quick conversation via text or call right now, or we can reach out on Monday, but just reach out to the office. You have got to get this implemented, whether you're 45, 55, 65, it's never too late. Okay. It's a second opinion on what you're doing and a full blown workup of what we can do, the value that we can potentially bring to you and your hard work. 843-890-2400.
Thanks for listening to Charleston's Retirement Coach Podcast with Brandon Bowen. To learn more, visit bowenwealth.com and join Brandon for his radio show, Charleston's Retirement Coach, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 94.3 WSC.
Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Brandon Bowen is licensed in your state, please call 843-203-2030. J. Brandon Bowen is an investment advisor representative of Bowen Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. J. Brandon Bowen is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Bowen Wealth LLC, insurance licensed in South Carolina. Market Guard is a registered investment advisor with the SEC and provides model portfolios only to Impact Partnership Wealth. Market Guard makes no implied warranties or representations and is not liable for any data presented.